You are welcome back. This is what this pastor told me. He said that day, after leaving the seminar which I taught about covenant, and he said when he got home, he was really moved and touched by the seminar, by the teaching of the covenant, that he has never had such mystery about covenant before. He said he had been reading book about subject of covenant, he had been listening to many seminars about subject of covenant, but that same day, he has never heard anything like that in his life. He said he was touched, he was moved, then he was provoked to pray. He said, I quote now, he said, when I got home, I knelt down and I pray, Lord, I have heard the secret of covenant. Help me to begin to practice what I have received about covenant. He said that night, I promise that every time and condition which this man of God has taught about covenant, I am ready to follow it. Then he now said, by having that mindset, that covenant of starting, he has not even started though. He said he had a dream. He said in that dream, he met God. He had an encounter, or unusual encounter with God, which I will not be able to tell you. He told me everything. He said he had an unusual encounter with God in the night that has something to do with what we taught him in the day. And I said the following day, he was just walking on the street, going to where he would say he only have one book to sell. There was nothing for the wife and the children to eat that particular day. He said he had only one book. He had in mind that he was going to give a particular man that book so that he collect money, which is 300 naira. He said 300 naira, when he gets home, he will use 300 naira to give to his wife to take care of home. He said when he was going, he met a woman on the road. He said that old woman said, Mister, give me that book. I need it. He said she was just looking, he was just looking at the woman. Number one, this woman is an old woman that couldn't read. Then number two, because he wrote that book in English. And then he said number two, this book was left, only one book was left. So he have in mind that he was going to someone to give that only one book so that he collected 300 naira to take home to take care of his family. Now here is an old woman saying, give me that book. What was this woman wanted to do with the book which he could not read? She could not read. She was just living. He said, as I was living, I quote him. He said, a spirit tells me, why can't you obey this woman? And he said, and I turned back and I gave it to the woman. He said, the woman says, my son will call you. My son will call you tomorrow. My son will call you tomorrow. That was how the woman disappeared. The following day, I am quoting what he said. I'm not adding to it. I'm not taking from it. He said the following day, it was what he was telling me. He said the following day, he received a call. A call came to his handset. Hello, who is speaking? He said, I am so. Now, who do you want to speak with? He said, I want to speak with you, sir. Do you know me? He said he mentioned his name. I said, are you from where? And he mentioned he was calling from a particular, is it London or America? He was calling from a particular country. You know what that boy said, what that man said? He said, my mother asked me to call you. Oh, this is mystery. He saw this woman once. He never had any conversation with this woman, talk less of collecting or giving number to the woman. And he said, the man says, my mother asked me to call you, that you should pray for him. Your mother. Who is your mother? He said, my mother said she met you on the way yesterday. The man says he was afraid, but he prayed for the boy. So after praying for him, several days after that day, this same man has to call this pastor again. And he tell the pastor, says, sir, I want to ask you, sir, what do you think you need? Tell me what you need. He said, I need money to take care of my family. I never remember the number of that dollars. It's thousands of dollars. He sent the money to him. For the first time, he said he was seeing that kind of money for the first time of his life. That was how the boy or the man kept sending money to him. He sent money to him. In fact, he take care of his family, he take care of his children, he paid the rent, he paid everything. As a matter of fact, he bought land for the church and he was building the land. At that time, he was sharing that testimony with me outside. You know what he said? He said, sir, look at this Jeep. It's a new model Jeep. CVI, new model Jeep. That if you want to value the Jeep, it cannot less than 4 to 5 million naira at that time. He said, I said, what? How do you come about this Jeep? He said, I'm just telling you. He said, the man now called me one day. He said, sir, come to Lagos. I have a package for you. He said he shared with his wife. He said, the man has asked me to come to Lagos again. My wife says, I beg, don't go. The man you never knew. But courageously, he said he left to Lagos. And the man gave him description of where he has paid in a motor dealer for a particular Jeep. He has paid for it. He has drawn money for fuel. He has to drive the car from Lagos down to Akure. Hi, that is what Covenant has done. As at that time, the man was sharing the testimony with me. He even gave me a package. He gave me 10,000 naira. The man that was borrowing before, sir, please use this 10,000 naira to fuel your car. I want to have a break in a moment.